Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain.
Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. How is everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you guys are having a great day. It is Wednesday. I just blew my nose, so I feel like I'm like speaking out of my, I don't know. I feel like I'm speaking weird, but hopefully you guys are having a great Wednesday. We did do a live earlier today, so if you missed it, you could always go back and rewatch. We just discussed the documents and we went over some things. And then right when we got off of the live, this came out. So I was like, well, I guess we know what we're going to go over tonight. So that's why we're here. And then we'll go over some of the documents again, if you guys want to. So, but if you are new to the channel, if you're like, who is this lady? My name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either one. I don't prefer one over the other one, but my name's on the screen there. All I do is ask if you would please like and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And if you want to become a member, that's even better. I will put the chat members link in the chat for everybody, and I'll pin it up at the top of the chat. That way it's just easier if you guys decide you want to become members. So let me pin it really quick and then we'll get on with it. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. Let's see who we got here. Looks like we got some people in here. Hey, Elise. They're threatening him again. This is a lot. He's been complaining. Yeah, that's where I first saw it, Tipsy. But then there's more than one complaint. There's like 3. Actually, I think there's like 5, 5 or 6. Yeah, oh yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Betsy. Hey, Larry. Welcome in. Hey, Catherine. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Crime Kitty. Hey, Kira. Welcome in. Hey, Jack. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Donna. Look at that. Hey, Marcella. Every time I see your name, I think of there's a restaurant, a restaurant in Columbus, and it's named Marcella's. And it's such a nice restaurant. I've only eaten there once because I can only afford to eat there once. But it was so it was so fancy. You know, you're at a fancy restaurant when they don't even have like the side dishes in a certain extra section, you know? Like here's the side dish, like, and you don't know what you're getting as a side dish almost. It's just like you order the meat and then it just comes with what it comes with. It was one of those places. I was like, where did you bring me? It's me and one of my friends. Hey, Happy Mom. Hey, Machichi. Welcome in. Hey, Willows. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. I think I said hey to Larry, but hello, Ashley. Hey, Catherine again. Hey, Triple L. I always at least say hi to a couple people twice, huh? Hey, Christy. Hey, Ishi. I saw you said something about your watering your lawn. I was been wondering where you've been. I was going to text you. I'm like, thought about you earlier. I'm like, where's she been? Hey, Jog. Water in the yard. Water in the yard. You know who can't do that very often? Vincent's mom. California laws are very weird. I'm pretty sure he said something about that because I remember like when we were younger, we learned that in like one of our classes. And then as I got older, I asked him, it's like, can you like mow your yard after a certain hour? He said only during like droughts, which is always a drought. Hey, Trips. Hey, Kitsy Cats. Well, it's good to see everybody. Hey, Canvas Bloom. Hey, Jack. Hey, Phoebe. What did I say last night? Phoebe? Was it Phoebe? I thought so. Hey, Phoebe. I know I said something like crazy last night. Hey, Legal Lacey. Well, it's good to see everybody. We got Ozzy. We got everybody in here. Hey, Ashley. Probably would just said a hello to everyone, but you know, we're doing it individually now. We've already come too far. Hey, CJK. Oh, hold on. What I miss? Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, of course. I just thought for some reason, when you tagged me, I thought you tagged a bunch of people. I don't know why I saw that, but I thought I did, but you didn't. Oh gosh. That's terrible. That's like my worst fear. You know what I mean? Oh man. I'm so sorry. I hope he's okay. Is he okay? Was he bleeding bad? Was it a big dog? Prayers for, I mean, just everybody involved. I have a dog that's just, she likes to nibble. She does. She does. She's behind me sleeping like an angel right now. You would never think because she's like seriously the sweetest dog. But I think I got her started on that. So I won't take her around kids. But she just likes, she won't bite, but she puts like her mouth around you, not even her teeth. Like she'll mouth you. And just every once in a while when you're walking away from her and your hand's like near her, she tries to get you. That's what I tell her. I'm like, you trying to get me, like get my attention. I shouldn't have started that. So I hope everybody's okay. Hey, Steven. Hope your nephew's okay. Hey, Crystal. The bite went through his top lip and multiple. Oh, also bit his hand. They're trying to verify if the dog was up to date. I hope the dog was up to date. You're not late. No, you're not. Hey, Simple Southern Mama. Heck, Doodlebug. We got everybody in here tonight. Look at that. Man, I hope your nephew's okay, though. I just don't like that. Huh? Wait, no, I didn't break up. Did you think me and Vincent broke up? Heck no. He ain't going nowhere. Shoot. If he ever thought he would. I'm just kidding. No, I was talking about my dog, but yeah, no, she is a nibbler. This girl, I remember, she was in the military. And so I don't know. I just think of military women as tough. And apparently I wasn't here. I was, I think, on vacation or something. Just a quick story. I was visiting family in Florida. Well, apparently the dog nibbled at her, but there was no blood or anything. Just, it was like a puncture mark. And Vincent was like, what do I do? And he went down like 4 times to check on her. And I'm like, well, if she's not bleeding and she's telling you she's okay, then it's fine. Well, she told us she was okay to his face, but apparently she was not okay. And it didn't even break the skin. So I've had to cry for this dog and everything else. You see, you have little dogs. Hey, Tom. See, I have big dogs. Yeah, that's what I meant. I thought you meant like we were break. I was like, did me and you break up? We didn't. We didn't break up either. Oh, the live broke up. Oh, sorry. I was like, what? I thought you learned something that I didn't know. I'm like, huh. No, I'm just kidding. That would be funny though, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be. Wouldn't be. I'd get him. No, heck no, he ain't going nowhere. Just got this nice fancy job where he's going to be hanging out with me every day. No, I will like that though. It'll just be like COVID times. Okay, let me show you the other complaints. There's a few. We'll start. I think, is this the first one? Yeah. Okay. So Brian Kohberger, I'm going to say this, that he has the worst handwriting I mean, I've seen pretty bad handwriting before on this app, I would say. I'm trying to think of somebody in particular, but I can't think of anyone right now. But there's been people that have had just really bad handwriting. I don't know how I'm going to figure this out, but we're going to figure it out. I have an article that tells us what it reads at like too. So we'll try to read through it, but whatever we can't read through, we'll read through the article. And hopefully I can bring him on here soon. I told him just to sneak right there. You guys would never even notice he was there. So this is a kite pretty much, basically. So basically what a kite is a form of, it's a way for prisoners or jailers, whichever, to communicate with the guards about, whether it's like people fighting like in house and they're trying to keep it hush hush or something, or they need, they want to get out. A lot of times they'll get kites to say, they just want to get out, or they need like medical papers, or there's something medically wrong with them, things like that. They'll send a kite out, and they just send it out to the corrections officers, and then they will either send it to the appropriate person. Like say it's something for the warden, and they look at it and they're like, oh, this is really important. The warden should hear about it. Then they'll probably give it to him. But for the most part, it's just for, prisoners to communicate with the jail staff, if that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure I was reading, I don't know in which article I was reading it in, but I read that Brian Kohberger was actually in a medical ward part of the hospital, part of the prison when he first went in for intake. And I'm pretty sure that's where the video came from. So, but now he's on J block. So I think those two are different. I don't think that was the J block room that we saw. For some reason, I don't know. I don't think it is, but he wasn't in there very long before he started complaining. Let's see, actually, which one of these is first? This is 7:31. This is 7:30. Okay, so I have two. And I think that there was like a few. There might have been, I don't know if there's any more though of these. So it says that the issue and concern, it's Brian, and this is Brian Kohberger's handwriting, like that's it. Because I was trying to find one online to compare it to, like to see if it, but then I looked at the handwriting, I was like, yeah, that's it. Look at his signature. What is that? What is that mess? What's this? What is this? That is not Kohberger at the end. I can't say nothing, but as I continue the SPI phase, I wish to discuss if I may be transferred to another ADSEG setting. I have no idea what this word is. As B something, such as B block. He's not engaging in any of the recent flooding / stinking, as well as being subject to minute by minute verbal threats / harassment on that and other basis. Something, I don't know if that's even a word right here, like Unit 2 of J Block, that's what it says, is an environment that I wish to transfer from. I love this for me and him and all of us. I love this. I really do. I'm sorry, but I do. I do. And I love that they're going to keep his ass right where they have him. You ain't going nowhere. Because you can't just, this is not the Holiday Inn. You cannot request fresh sheets. I read that. I do not believe that that guy was a cellmate with Brian Kohberger. First off, they're not going to put a person in the cell with him. And he's not going to be able to say, oh, he wants fresh sheets and clothing, and then they give it to him. No, that ain't going to happen either. This is not the Holiday Inn. So they're not going to transfer him. If he's not like dying over there yet, you know what I mean? They're like, you're good. So he says that he wishes to transfer out of that one. If possible, I request transfer to B block immediately. I wish to speak with you soon. Brian C. Kohberger. Okay, and then this person wrote, and this must be like, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a woman because the handwriting looks kind of like a girl. Mr. Kohberger, maybe not though. On another tier at IMSI, there are sometimes disruptions to operations such as resident flooding. On J2, it is a relatively rare occurrence, and J2 is generally a fairly calm and quieter tier. Yeah, you don't want the noise, Kohberger. I do not think that B block would be any better for you. Give it some time. Can you imagine being 30 years old and somebody telling you what to do? You know, I mean, like, just, oh, you hate it? Oh, you're suffering? Oh, they're flooding the cells. Could be maybe getting into yours a little. Just give it some time. You'll be all right. Good golly. So then, filed a little grievance here. Okay. Now this handwriting looks like it's a little better. Maybe he took his time. Maybe he wasn't so angry or something, because I don't know. This looks a little, I don't know. This one just looks a little better. Maybe it's the blue pen. I don't know. So it says, I have on several occasions not received all items of food on my tray. Now I'm thinking that maybe he's a vegan diet. He's doing a vegan diet. So maybe they leave off the hot dogs or whatever they give him. You know what I mean? That's meat wise. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of maybe thinking. And then he's thinking that in place of that, he should get like extra dessert or extra fruit tray or you know what I mean? Like a fruit cup or whatever. That's what I'm thinking when I read this. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next few days. But it says that he has on several occasions not received all items on his food tray. I addressed this during service and have yet to receive any replacements. In fact, the kitchen is not even called. Again, this is not the Ritz. They didn't even call the kitchen. They'd be lucky if they had a phone that goes to the kitchen. The policy book confirms, he read that, you know, items missing which are pointed out at the time of service will be replaced. I wish to, without exception, receive these replacements. Without exceptions. Without exception. Little bossy thing. So then they asked him, have I tried to solve this problem informally by, and he puts, addressing the issue with staff at the time of meal service. I bet he wishes he had his aunt's pans now to eat off of. Bet you he does. I suggest the following solution for the problem. I wish for the items to be added Wait, that's not this. I wish for the items to be called for and items replaced when this occurs. The nutritional standard is not being upheld unless I receive my full tray. That's exactly what's happening. I guarantee you guys that okay. So he probably has 6 little spots on his tray for crap, or 5 or whatever, right? And let's say they only fill 4 out of the 5 because the other item is a meat item. And so, like, sorry, they're not going to sit there and probably make him a whole plate of food, or even like 20 or 100 of them, or whatever it is, that are doing vegan diet. They're probably just going to give them everything but whatever the meat item is. Just take that off, right? I mean, that's what I'm assuming. So I think that he's a little upset because, yeah, he's not getting all of it. So he's not getting like an extra cake or an extra thing of, like, like I said, vegetables or fruit or whatever he eats. I don't know, rice. Maybe they can give him like a peanut butter Sammy to keep him afloat, because he is dwindling. He's dwindling away. We saw it in court. So then we have this, and it's a little bit of it's the threat. It's the threat. So it says here, sexual harassment. I guess another guard heard it too. Individuals involved, Brian, I don't know why they spelled his name wrong. Sorry, that makes me laugh. Brian Kohberger, 163214. And then it says, brief summary. And I have it blown up as much as I can. Oh, is she? 11 months. Look at that. Love you too. Oh my gosh. One more month. We'll be together a year. Hey, Boone. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Dawn. Welcome in, everyone. I have you guys up here. I don't know why I don't look up. All right, let's read through this. This is gonna be funny. Thanks for being a member for so long. Is she that? I appreciate that. So this was on August 3rd, 2025. So the other ones were, I don't know if I told you, but the dates were the third, and the last one that we read was on July 31st. And then the one before that was on July 30th. So then this one, he's like, they're harassing me now. The staff that was there, these guys, Jordan, Jacob, Carter, brief summary of incident and action taken. On August 3rd, 2025, resident Kohberger, and his number is 163214, submitted a concern form stating he has been subject to threats and harassment, recently escalating to overt sexually violent threats / statements. Lieutenant Malant received the concern form on August 4th, 2025, and conducted an interview with Kohberger in J Block. Kohberger stated a resident that goes by Peru. Oh, he dropped a name. Oh, he is done, son. I don't know how much on the list it is. I'm going to say it's probably like number 1 on the list to not be a snitch in prison. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's probably number 1. Old Peru. And now I'm talking. Oh, now don't you come after me, Peru's family. You bunch of gangsters, maybe. Oh, no, I don't even know who Peru is. But it says, Peru said, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. I think it, okay. Peru told him, I will booty, but it says but, and then the F word, you. So I'll but F you. Okay. We got that. Kohberger also stated an unknown resident from Tier 1 of J Block said the only ass will be eating his Kohbergers. Now, I gotta admit, the Gonzalez family, they warned them. They warned them. Yes, snitches get stitches, and yeah, he's gonna get a battery pack to the face. Yeah. So yeah, they're really they're really making him feel at home, Kohberger stated that Officer Signora was present for the comment made by Peru. Due to Officer Signora being on B nights, an interview could not be conducted to attempt to corroborate the allegation. Wait, I thought he said he didn't hear it. Hold on, let's see. On August 7th, that officer submitted an information report outlining his involvement of the alleged incident. Officer Signora recalls vulgar language being used and directed towards Kohberger, but could not identify who said what because he's not a snitch. He ain't going down like that. He's smart. You know that he knows whose voices are whose. And when you've worked there long enough, you know someone's voice. You know what I mean? You know if it's Peru or not. But it says the allegation is substantiated but due to no aggressor being able to be positively identified, and Kohberger saying he feels safe to remain on Tier 2 and J block. So now he's okay. No further actions were taken. The delay in the 105 submission date and the report date is due to collecting all the information to ensure a proper action could be taken as needed. Okay, end of report. So yeah, they're oh, we should send him some makeup. I thought about sending him my Nancy Grace cardboard cutout or a picture of me and her. I think he'd appreciate that. I mean, he was watching her on the news. So, I mean, I thought, why not send him a picture of me and her? It's really not her, you know, it's just the cardboard cutout, but still. I couldn't, I just, when we got off that live and I read this, I was like, what? I was like, really? And so I did a short video and then I did it on TikTok, and y'all be not be watching my shorts over here. I had like 300 views. I had 5,400 by the time I had 300 over here. So I might have to do my short videos over there more often and over here. Literally took me like a couple of seconds to record it. But yeah, they're going to be doing some things to his butt that he doesn't like. Yeah, Kara, it really does. That's a good question. I think it's what, 60 days? I don't even know who he would appeal through. Oh, it's 14 days. Hold on, let's see. Oh, wait, 42 days. But this is crazy. A criminal defendant has 42 days from the date of the district court judgment or order to file a notice of appeal. I wonder if I put that in. It says that if he does try to do that, it could violate the plea agreement. So I don't think he'll even be able to do that. But it says 42 days. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Anne's done with him. Yeah. Hey, Felicia. Yeah. You know, yeah, Brittany Kohberger. There we go. I like it. And then he can still, you know, go like buy like Bri if he wants. Yeah. Now I wonder how his little girlfriend felt from the subreddit, you know, the Brian's girls, because I swear that was one girl doing all those things. Her heart was probably broken, you know, just broken. I see people on Twitter and stuff, and they're just like, he's innocent, and I'm like, he said he did it. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. I would never say that I was guilty of something I didn't do like that. So, and I would never stick my butt in prison or jail for 2.5 years, neither. So, the next report that we're going to read is going to be actually, this one is about Xana, and I think that's might be it. It wasn't a whole lot, but we'll go through it. But this person is studying at the University of Idaho, and he met Xana Kernodle while hanging out at the University of Idaho. He has some friends there, and one of the friends, he says, was his brother's friend in high school, and he's known him since childhood. This person, he goes hunting. He says he goes hunting with somebody. It's redacted twice this year. This was the first time hunting, and this person was teaching him. This person had a knife he kept in his backpack, and he thinks it was black. He had 2 sets of binoculars. This person is nice, but he can get hot-headed and aggressive. He can be rude. He knows, as is redacted, also his brother's friend is nice. And they both picked on him when he was younger, but not in a mean way. He met Kernodle and her best friend, and it's redacted, and where they met is redacted, but it says when he was considering becoming a member. He went to high school with whoever, redacted, but he didn't know her well. She was quiet and on the cross-country team. He didn't think she would be the type to join a sorority. I'm assuming it's one of the victims, or the surviving victims, or survivors of the crime. Wasn't Dylan on the cross-country team? Wasn't there a picture of her on a track or something? Or am I thinking, or am I just making that up? I feel like I might even have the picture. Now look at me go through all these pictures. I don't know. These are the crime scene photos, though. So these might not be in here. It might have been on that other site I was on. I'll have to look later. Hey, Lion Man. Maybe it was Anna. No, she was the gymnast, but she could have been a runner too. But I know she was a gymnast when she was younger. And I know that Ethan played soccer, but I think he played all the sports, like basketball, and I think he played all of them. And she played golf. I'm pretty sure they both did. I think he taught her, maybe, actually. So then, I think that was all of that. So the next one will be somebody that, they want to, it says investigations to assist with the homicide. So it looks like they went back into the house here. Yeah, they did. They did go back in. I feel like something's in my eye. Sorry, guys. On Friday, December the 2nd, at approximately 9:30 a.m., I facilitated entry into the residence so they could begin preparing estimates for biological and chemical remediation on behalf of the property owner. So the 2 people that were going to be doing this both signed non-disclosure agreements before entering the residence and were monitored by me during their time at the crime scene. They signed non-disclosure agreements that were provided to MPD. While in the residence, I discovered that the thermostat/furnace was not working properly. The temperature in the house was approximately 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I attempted to reset the thermostat to 65 degrees. Additionally, I watered the live plants that I found in the residence. I thought this was kind of nice when I read this earlier. And turned off or unplugged all unnecessary electronics in the house, such as televisions and string lights. At approximately 11:05 a.m., they completed their work. I secured the residence and we left. So, okay. Hey, Envision. Hey, Aries. Hey, everybody coming in. Welcome in, everybody. So then it says on Saturday, December 3rd, I returned to the residence, and this was 2022, and discovered that the interior temperature had dropped to 42 degrees. Moscow Police Department, Captain Roger Lanier, contacted the homeowner and acquired space heaters to place in the residence. ISP Detective Jake Schweck and I placed heaters in the bathrooms, kitchen, and main floor. Additionally, we opened cabinets in the areas that contained pipes to keep them from freezing. On Monday, December 5th, 2022, at approximately 12:45 p.m., I facilitated entry into the residence, and this is to fix the thermostat/furnace on behalf of the property owner. So this person was monitored the whole time they were there, and I'm sure that's the HVAC Remember, we all saw the HVAC people go there and we thought, oh my gosh, they might be looking in like the pipes or whatever, for like DNA or something. I think I even said maybe the heat went out. Well, the heat went out. I'm going to go back to that video. I need to find that. I swear that's what I said too. Like maybe the heat just went out. I bet I titled it maybe HVAC or something. Oh, I probably did. I'm going to have to go back. There's just so many lives and so many videos. So it says here that they monitored him. He never left the bottom floor and did not observe any part of the crime scene. At approximately 1:30 p.m., they completed his repairs. I left the space heaters in the residence on low in case the thermostat/furnace failed. Then I secured the residence and we left. On Tuesday, December 6th, 2022, I returned to the residence. The temperature was maintained at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I removed the space heaters. Good job, guy. On Wednesday, December 7th, 2022, I assisted the MPD with packing the victim's belongings at the residence and loading them into a U-Haul truck to be moved to an off-site location. MPD Chief James Fry and I worked together in Kernodle's room to pack her personal belongings. Due to chemical and biological contamination, we were unable to pack all of the items located in her room. Chief Fry and I packed up most of the items in her closet and various items located in and around her desk area that appeared to be of financial or sentimental value, such as currency, graphing calculators, car keys, ID cards, gift cards, and personal notes. I counted the currency, approximately $172.21 in cash and coins, found in a backpack and the desk drawer. I photographed the currency along with Kernodle's Arizona driver's license, University of Idaho ID card, and Chick-fil-A gift card, and 2 Amazon gift cards, and placed them into a box with her other belongings. The photographs were provided to MPD. Chief Fry and I also packed up the personal belongings in Mogan's room that did not appear to have chemical or biological contamination. We gathered items of perceived sentimental value, such as her cowboy boots, wall art, personal notes, pictures, and a mirror. Other MPD personnel packed the personal belongings found in the other rooms. I assisted MPD with loading the boxes of personal belongings onto a truck, which was ultimately moved to an off-site location to be returned to the family/owners. And then it says belongings, photographs provided to MPD. Now, we may never see them. We may see them. I don't know. It just depends on the lawsuit that's kind of going on right now. Hey, just Debbie. Hey, get to the ducky point. Hey, Happy Cappy. So the next one we have, then this is going to be regarding this girl's interactions with Brian. Brian was a student in her class in the fall 2022 semester. So they interviewed her at Washington State University. This is a summary of what she said. She's worked at WSU. She's a professors of WSU see graduate students 3 hours per week in class. She doesn't. It's redacted what she teaches, but she graduate level and undergraduate level. Her class was on Thursday. Her class was on Thursdays, and she first had contact with Kohberger in that class on August 25th, 2022. Nothing stood out to her in her first interaction with Kohberger other than him wanting to dominate the conversation. The week immediately following the homicides, Kohberger was not in her class and sent an email about not being there. She will be providing a copy of the email as part of the administrative subpoena. The paper Kohberger wrote for her class was on burglary. She will be providing a copy of the paper as part of the administrative subpoena. She covered for another professor on a Tuesday class the week immediately following the homicides, and Kohberger was later than usual for that class. She noticed a bandage on Kohberger's middle and ring fingers of his right hand. Kohberger told her it was from a silly accident that happened indoors. She didn't think it happened indoors because it looked like it had been scraped on asphalt. She believed she observed this injury prior to the homicides, but wasn't certain. It could have been from like a boxing bag, like those tough ones. and not wearing gloves. I don't know. Kohberger wanted to dominate conversations he participated in. I mean, like the scrapes. I don't think the cut would be from that, though. Kohberger was systematically late to her classes. One time he arrived on time and she told him, "Hey, you're not late today." And he laughed awkwardly. Kohberger cornered her in the hall the first week of classes because she had not given him 100% for participation that week. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. She would deliberately not call on Kohberger towards the end of class because he always wanted to talk and would go on these monologues. Kohberger would correct other students, which she believed was inappropriate since that is her job. Kohberger seemed to correct his behavior throughout the course of the semester and was more contained by the end of the semester. Kohberger would present his opinions and ideas as statements of fact. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't have a YouTube channel. Like, I'm being sarcastic, but that's what a lot of people do in here. She heard from one of her other students that Kohberger was telling the other student that because she is a redacted, he knows better. One day, a female grad student came running into her office crying. This person went and checked on her, and the student said she had just left class because of an interaction with Kohberger. Kohberger had said something very sexist, and the student called him out for mansplaining. Kohberger stood his ground and kept speaking in a way that made the student feel she needed to stand up and leave the room. The following are examples of stories involving Kohberger that she had not witnessed but had heard secondhand. Okay. Excuse my language. Kohberger told a female student that was both disabled and gay that he would need his partner to be physically perfect and a disability would not be acceptable. Oh, he wouldn't have liked me. Kohberger once told a student something like, "Oh, I could never understand, like, what are your experience?" I'm sorry, Adam. "Oh, I could never understand, like, what your experience is like as it's redacted woman." This person referred to this as a positive interaction between Kohberger and the redacted student. This was the only positive story she remembered being told of Kohberger. Kohberger's research interests were very much aligned with redacted, and as such, they had many conversations that she did not want to label positive. Rather, it was more of what you would expect between a grad student and their professor. Kohberger kept telling her he wanted to study emotions and decision-making. Kohberger read a lot of her research, and when he was required for another class to do a paper on another faculty member, he picked one of her papers. She felt Kohberger wanted to work with her, but never formally asked. She did not remember the details of the story, but recalled Kohberger had said something homophobic. She was asked by staff to check in on redacted because Kohberger was harassing her. Kohberger would go into an office. I should write this. I mean, this is the page I actually just need, because this tells everything instead of going through all that stuff from earlier. Okay. Kohberger would go into an office where several female grad students worked and physically block the door. Once in a while, she would hear one of the female grad students say, "I really need to get out of here." And she would intercede by going into the office, allowing the female student to leave. Kohberger really wanted to study burglars. Kohberger had strong feelings that regular burglars had nothing to do with sexually motivated burglars. That could be true. Kohberger would show up anywhere from 10 minutes late to an hour on one occasion. How long's the class? On that occasion, he brought a note from his professor. She'll be providing a note. All Kohberger's graduate level classes are in the afternoon from 2 to 5, and there is only one per day. He would not have had any classes previous to hers unless he was acting in a teacher's assistant's capacity. She checked with the professor Kohberger was a TA for, and he told her that he had advised Kohberger to leave his class early so he could be on time for her class. Kohberger continued to arrive late. Kohberger had 3 courses as part of his PhD. That's it. 2 with female professors and 1 with a male professor. Students in the same classes began taking a poll, of when he was late to female-led classes versus the male-led class. He was systematically late to both female-led classes and not late once to the male-led class. Kohberger was obsessed with serial killers and would talk about it a lot in class. The week Kohberger was not in class, 3 female grad students approached her and said, "Oh my God, class was so much better today, like just easier to navigate." The classroom was set up in a circle around a table, and Kohberger would sit next to her every time. She and her colleagues had a faculty meeting right before the Christmas break in which they discussed each of their students. Kohberger took up most of the time in this meeting because he was highly problematic. She told her colleagues, he is smart enough that in 4 years we will have to give him a PhD. And mark my words, I work with predators. If we give him a PhD, that's the guy that in many years, when he is a professor, we will hear is harassing, stalking, and sexually abusing of his, I thought would be his students at wherever university he ended. Are we kidding? Are we kidding with life? All these things, 9 plus complaints. Women needing escorts outside of their car. Him blocking the doors, making everybody feel freaking uncomfortable, making people being homophobic and labels, all of the ableist and all the things, just being all the things. Troubling behaviors. They're all calling it out. First couple months he was there, he should have been gone. He shouldn't have even made it as far as he made it. The dude sucked. That's fine. Some people are, and I'm not talking about like he was just a little weird and he just couldn't talk to people. That's not what this is. That's not what any of this is that we've been reading. He literally knows what he's doing when he's standing in the doorway, not letting these girls go by. He does. That's not an illness. That's him being an a-hole. Like, wow, I can't believe some of this stuff. Like they would tell him, don't follow me. And there he'd be again, following him again. It does sound unethical, true crime lullabies. You ought to give him a PhD, right? I'm going to write the school. I already said I'm like on it. I've been writing numbers down all day for pages. I am so ready to write these people and ask, how did you allow this for so long? And you know me, a lot of people talk about Idaho, University of Idaho being bad. No, we probably need to talk to the people over at Washington. So I'm going to read that again. She told her colleagues, he is smart enough that in 4 years, we will have to give him a PhD. And mark my word, I work with predators. If we give him a PhD, that's the guy that in many years, when he is a professor, we will hear he is harassing, stalking, and sexually abusing of his, I thought would be his, his students at whatever university he ended. No, that's not what happened. He was still a student and he murdered 4 college students when they were trying to sleep. Because there was a performance issue in terms of his team duties, she and a couple of other faculty members made the recommendation to cut his funding and get him out of the program. She felt he was stalking people. She would not share his dissertation as a backup solution for kicking him out. The room was divided on whether Kohberger's funding should be pulled or not. During her time at WSU, the decision of cutting someone's funding to remove them from the program has never happened before. Is this the lady that worked there for like 20 some years? She knew of one student that had their funding pulled simply because they stopped showing up for classes. Well, yeah, that'll do it. But this person, first person. Well, you achieved that. She saw Kohberger in the parking lot of Safeway late the night before the Christmas potluck. He was so lost in thought, she waved at him for literally 2 minutes before she thought, okay, I don't think it's him. I'm like that. At some point, he saw her, and the next day he came and apologized to her. A female graduate student came to her sometime during September or October and reported that someone had broken into their apartment and stolen intimate items such as perfume and underwear, and that she was very scared. Okay. Copy the interview to a compact disc. This is WSU warrant. regarding records for Brian Kohberger. Let's see what they say. They served a search warrant on WSU regarding records for Kohberger. I learned several days later WSU would not respond to a search warrant from the state of Idaho. What? They don't want to help? Arrangements were made through Whitman County Prosecutor's Office to serve a Washington state warrant on behalf of the state of Idaho. I have no further involvement with the search warrant process. Why would what are we all hiding over there? That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, so what's this? That's okay. Summary narrative. During the subsequent investigation following the homicide of Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin on November 13th, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective and Federal Bureau of Investigation Task Force Officer Gideon Roberts reviewed several tips and contacted or attempted contact with several subjects. During this time, Brian Kohberger was identified as the suspect perpetrator and arrested. The following tips were evaluated and some subjects contacted. Oh, and that just gives the serial number. So, okay, that didn't really do much, did it? And these are reporting parties through 8, through 11, 13, 16, and then suspects. Okay. They don't give out any of the names. I was just looking because sometimes they forgot. They were forgetting to redact the names on a couple of them last night. So during the subsequent, investigation of the murders, and this is the tips that were evaluated. So tip serial number 78, per tip information, reporting party, these people believed redacted and redacted were subjects who should be contacted due to their long history with, redacted. Allegedly had previous weapon possession charges and drove a white sedan. Investigators discovered redacted had an active warrant and attempted multiple times to contact him, but were ultimately unsuccessful. Yeah, he ain't gonna answer for you. During that time, Kohberger was identified as a primary suspect and arrested. Okay, so this one too. This one too. It's just, we're gonna say primary suspect, so what's this one? Okay, so then this one, this person believed she had seen Kohberger's profile on Tinder or Facebook. On January 18th, 2023, they spoke by phone. This person told me she believed she had seen Kohberger's face on a dating app profile, but couldn't remember which one. She also told me she didn't have any interaction with the account of Kohberger, and she wasn't completely sure if it was Kohberger because the profile name was not Kohberger's name, but she couldn't remember the profile name. Good grief. Hey, Mr. Stat. That's just like, man, why are you even calling that in? Serial number 8378. Okay. This person observed a vehicle matching the description of Kohberger's near Diamond, Ohio. Where the hell is I'm from Ohio. Where the heck is Diamond? Google Maps. I have never heard. I mean, it has to be up north. Like way up north. Okay. Oh my God. Hold on. I thought I was near it for a minute. Diamond, Ohio. It doesn't even come up. That doesn't even come up on my phone. That's not even a place, y'all. It's an unincorporated community. And it's 3 hours and 30 minutes from me. I'm going to say that's probably... Yeah, that's like... Looks like up north. That ain't even a real place. Okay. It's just an unincorporated... It's just very small, so I guess that's why. RP's reported observed timeline and Kohberger's timeline per his cellular telephone, and data didn't match. Okay. It says that the RP reported seeing the vehicle at midday while Kohberger's cell phone data showed him traveling past Diamond, Ohio on December 16th, 2022. He would have already been home. So this one's per the tip line. They believed her ex-husband, redacted, should be investigated in relation to the homicides due to his alleged previous threats towards people, and is redacted at the University of Idaho. Investigators began evaluating the tip. However, before this was contacted, Kohberger was identified. Okay. Like I say, same way here. So they interviewed this person. It says after being advised of the nature of the interview and that it would be recorded, this person provided the following information. He is something at the University of Idaho. He's studying something there, and he currently lives in Moscow. On November 13th, 2022, he returned home at about 4:30 a.m. after playing video games at his fraternity house. He parked his car directly to the east of 1122 King Road. After returning home, he took his dog out to relieve itself at about 4:50 at 5 a.m., walking to the dead-end portion of the road directly south of 1122 King Road. While out with his dog, he heard music playing from a nearby residence, as well as another dog barking in the area of 1155 King Road, but he didn't notice anything unusual. Is this supposed to be 1122? I don't know. He returned to his apartment and got into bed. About 2 minutes after getting in bed, he heard a tapping on the window next to the front door. He peered through the blinds on the window, but didn't see anyone. I wouldn't have looked out my window. After learning of the homicides, he read reports and articles that he believed showed Kohberger could have been the subject who tapped on his window. Why would he tap on your window, dude? Like what time was that? 4:50 to 5 a.m. Yeah, no, he was gone. He was gone. So, yeah, he was gone. He wasn't even in the area anymore. This person was born in 78. So, female, 44. She, it says that was asked to locate the owner of a cell phone, and it gives the number. The number was used to attempt access of a T-Mobile account owned by one of the victims or survivors. Date of birth 2003. So research showed the most likely owner of the phone number gives the birth date 1978, and gives the address, and it's in Post Falls, Idaho. So I visited the redacted on January 19th. The owners of the 3-unit complex were identified and none knew redacted. The owner of unit redacted passed on a stack of mail having been received in the last week at her unit, and it did not belong to her. I secured the mail, photographed the front of each envelope, and gave the mail to the U.S. Postal Service inspector that works in the ISP District 1 office. Investigations would show the names listed on the envelopes were not tied to this case. On February 1st, 2022, I went to the apartment in Post Falls, Idaho, along with ISP Detective Gary Tolson. There was no answer at the apartment, so I left my phone number and requested a return phone call. The person called me later the same day, confirming family members had located my business card at her apartment. She confirmed her phone number, and the provider was T-Mobile. She was calling me from the number. On December 3rd, 2022, her account, which she shares with 8 other family members and is administered by her elderly father, was spoofed. Her elderly father answered a phish text from T-Mobile that exposed all the phone numbers on the account, including hers, to hackers. Man. The account and numbers were locked down, but the entity that was using her phone number has continued to use it to contact people she does not know. Wow. I don't know who would be able to do that. A hacker? So this person contacted the FCC and continues to reach out to T-Mobile. She forwarded me the emails generated by those contacts. She also confirmed she was continuing to get angry text messages and voicemails from people who are receiving messages from her assigned number. She recognized the last defense for her and the other numbers on the account was to change the assigned phone numbers. Yeah, that's what I would do. Okay. Let me find my chapstick really quick. Hold on. My little lip is dry. Is he okay? Oh, yeah, he's gonna be sore. Don't let him eat anything with salt. I, was 18, and you know that thing that holds your lip together, your upper lip? Like, it holds it to your gum? You know that thing? That little piece of flesh? I busted that out, and my dad said when they pulled my lip up to show my dad, my dad went white, my mom said, and he was like, "Yeah," because I could see her, like, whole Skeletor, like, all my stuff. So, I wanted eggs the next morning. It was like 6 in the morning. My mom was trying to be super sweet, and I'm a ketchup person when it comes to scrambled eggs. I haven't ate eggs in like 10 years. But anyway, the salt from the ketchup, oh, it hurts so bad. So just tell him to be careful with what he eats. Because, we didn't think about that, the ketchup. And it was bad. Oh, I hope he feels better. Oh, really, AC? Oh, that's crazy. I don't like that. So this one is on January 12th. They conducted another interview. So she is studying at the University of Idaho. It's 10:16 and somebody's calling me potential spam. It just doesn't stop. I don't know who, like, we'll give you a business loan. That's what they're going to say. So she's studying at the University of Idaho. She lives at the Secret Apartments. She met Kohberger at the Secret Apartments at a pool party over the summer prior to school starting approximately in August 2022. Kohberger walked into the office at the redacted and looked a little lost. He came over and asked her how to get to the pool. She was wearing a sundress with a swimsuit on underneath. While they were talking, he couldn't really control where his eyes were going, if that makes sense. She said he was blatantly looking at her. Most people are more discreet. It was weird. She showed him where the pool was. There were a lot of people there. Kohberger came alone and looked like he didn't know anyone, but moved from group to group. She went out to the pool with her friend and her friend's husband. They noticed Kohberger trying to socialize, but not doing a good job of it. Now, I guess he wasn't up getting people's phone numbers left and right, was he? Where's the lady with the snake tattoo on her leg? Kohberger made very direct eye contact with her and made a beeline towards her. And Redacted got up to intercept him. I think that's her husband. So Redacted had picked up Redacted and her were uncomfortable. All they picked up that her and the other girl were uncomfortable and a little bit weirded out by him and like the staring. So Redacted did most of the talking with Kohberger. It was very odd vibes. He wasn't saying anything significant, but his behavior seemed erratic. She was uncomfortable and everything was just odd. Kohberger said he was a law student and a TA teaching assistant. Why are you lying, Kohberger? He was older than the average person attending the pool party. Oh, that's not a good look. It looked like Kohberger had lost a lot of weight. Oh, that's not even a good look either. I thought he got the skin thing, right? Oh, but he has that big scar when they do that. That would leave a large scar. He worked in the basement. Right, happy mom. I felt like that earlier today. Like I don't know what I read, and I was like, "Don't you dare," because I'm an empath. It's just I am, and I'm like I had to remember who I was talking about. Man, I wouldn't see. I don't know if he got that surgery. I mean, we gotta find some proof of that because I don't remember seeing anything about it because that's an expensive surgery, right? How is his parents able to afford that? Like, that would be and, like, you would have to get that in multiple places, like, not just your stomach, shrinks when you lose that much weight, like, your whole arms and your legs and just everywhere, even your face. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to look into that. I'm curious and curiouser. So this has to do with Xana, and it looks like Maddie. And this witness, there's 4. And they says all these were tips that were called in, it looks like. Okay, so tip number 811 was telephoned in by a member of the fraternity saying he had phone contact with Xana and then saw Maddie Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez at the Corner Club bar prior to the homicides. I telephoned this person and arranged to interview him in Moscow Police Department on the morning of November 22nd. Detective Alderson and I met with this person and interviewed him in the lobby interview room at Moscow Police Department. The interview was recorded with his knowledge and permission. So he told us he was a student and was in his 5th year of college. He was also a member of, I believe, a fraternity, sorry. On Saturday, November 12th, he had attended a party at the redacted apartments with his girlfriend and redacted and her girlfriend redacted. They had spoken to Xana by telephone earlier and arranged to meet her there at the apartments. After the party at the apartments, they'd gone to the bar Mingles, which that person described as south of the Corner Bar in downtown Moscow. They met up with these people that they know in downtown. So he said that redacted drove he and I believe his girlfriend home, and he spent the night with her. After the interview, Detective Alderson and I telephoned redacted and asked if she remembered the evening of November 12th and who she was with the evening. She confirmed the evening. She also told us that the roommate was also with them that evening. We then telephoned redacted to get her version of the night's events. She told us the same events, but added that they also gone to John Alley's bar and it was packed, so they left and gone to Mingles. They confirmed with the roommate. She said she drove back to the apartment, and she also remembered texting redacted at around 2:07 to check on her. After talking to this person by phone, I received a telephone call from redacted who told me he had forgot to mention his roommate. And then he told me that that person was 27 years of age and that person was from, and it's redacted. So interviews were transferred over to compact disc. Okay. So on February 10th at 11:10, I spoke with this person at his residence regarding a possible sighting of Kohberger in the early morning following the homicide of Mogan, Gonzalez, Coronado, and Chapin. After advising this person of the purpose of my contact, he provided the following information. He and his wife, redacted, identified by her Idaho driver's license, were the only residents at redacted. He knew all his neighbors, and he did not know of anyone named redacted. Okay. The neighbors who shared his driveway and their address was, I confirmed this information by their mailbox. Okay. The pond at the end of the driveway had been frozen over before the homicides, which occurred on November 13th. Neither he nor redacted had observed anything like what was reported in the tip. Okay. No audio of the recording was made. This is Google Earth. I don't know why. I don't know. I think everything's blacked out. I guess I have no idea. Like, it's not even the houses. Like, what the heck would you redact out of this picture? Does anybody have a clue? I'm going to let you guys sit with this for just a second. I'll be right back. Hold on. Give me just 1 second. Okay, does anybody have any idea? Even in large, I have no clue. You know what it looks like? I mean, I don't know why everything keeps like reminding me of this case that we covered, because there was something the dog comment that Brian said. But it looks like the only thing I've ever seen a picture of this like this was when Chad Doberman unalived killed his sons, his 3 little boys, in the front yard. And I remember there was big black squares like that. But that's the only other time I've ever seen anything like this. It's like, let me see if there's any more. Okay. Oh, there's a message. Okay. So it says this was a rural area. An elderly lady came forward, said she lived out there in the vicinity home alone. She had on her porch light. Her dogs were barking like crazy. She got up, looked outside, watched a man park in her driveway out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, yeah, we read about this. Okay, it says out walking around his car. She watched him a while and he left. This was at like between 4:30 and 5 a.m., pitch black dark. After his arrest, the pic of the car and BK, she reached out to authorities to say, this is the guy, this is the car that was at my place in the wee hours of the morning. I thank God, something. And it says, where did this information come from? I believe it was on News Nation, possibly Banfield. Oh, holy hell. Hold on a second. How did we go from a... Wait, that's a Facebook. Are these Facebook messages too? It looks like it. Is that Facebook down here with the little blue? So, okay. Oh my God. And then there's nothing after that. We know about Banfield and her. She makes some mistakes, you know. So, oh my gosh. So, okay. This is suspect Brian Kohberger. Suspect 2. Look at this. Why does it say suspect 2? Oh, you know people are going to blow this up out of proportion. Who are you, Mr. Age 26? I don't know who it is, but like that does look really weird because the suspect involvement number 2. Individual, Moscow, Idaho. Okay, let's read it. And that has another suspect too, so I don't know. Okay. It has all 4 of the victims. 2, 3, 6 witnesses, 8 witnesses, 9 witnesses, 10. Damn. 20, oh, wow. How many? 23 witnesses. Wow. Okay. So tip number 0763. Date of birth, 1969. This person works as a something in Moscow. She wrote several lengthy emails to the Moscow Police Department outlining her thoughts her thoughts on a homeless man she had spoken to prior to the murders in Moscow. She said that this lengthy conversation took place out of the front of her place of business next to a Coke machine her son had placed there for money. She believed this conversation took place on October 18th. So there's the person's interviewed on this tip. Okay. So tip number 0040, email Moscow Chief of Police Fry. That didn't even make sense. This was assigned to Detective Lehman and me. According to a man named Redacted who lived near her, had many cats at his home sometime in the past, spoke about the cats. She described Redacted as being creepy, rapey, and he had been walking in the neighborhood more than he usually does. Oh my gosh. This person wrote that she was aware of Redacted pulling a knife on someone at the Redacted several years ago. Okay. It says, this led us to located somewhere in Moscow. I telephoned the owner. He told me he owned the Redacted for over 16 years and they used to be open at night. But because of the fights and other disturbances, he was no longer open at night. He did not remember a knife incident. He did tell us he had a video of the street and the food truck where Maddie and Kaylee were seen on the night of the homicides. The redacted gave Detective Lehman a thumb drive of the videos. Oh, so there's like another angle. So tip number 4768 lives in Moscow. This was sent in. She thought this person could be violent. He owns knives. He is also in the National Guard. Okay. So then they called the National Guard and they contacted and got a second address for that person. Okay. So no vehicle was spotted like that. The next day, they discussed the email tip, the same tip. And it says, Elderson told me that that person goes to redacted and has spoken to her in the past. So she had no other information than what she had called in. Okay. So it says during this time, Kohberger was identified as the primary suspect and was later arrested. So then there's the tips, but then they're all redacted. Oh my God. All of the above tips stem from a YouTube Medium reading. Okay. The psychic medium who led some viewers to believe that a redacted, date of birth, 1998, a member of some family was somehow involved in the homicides in Moscow. Anybody know who that'd be and what they were saying? Anybody? I'd love to know. People make me sick. The redacted family used to have a restaurant in Moscow called the Redacted, which used to be located next to Redacted Restaurant. The viewers of the YouTube reading who called/emailed in the tips believed that Redacted had been involved in the Moscow homicides because he had a fixation with Kaylee. Okay. Tip 3638 is a call-in from his redacted mother. Oh my gosh. Telephoned, left a message. She telephoned me back and we discussed the online accusations about her son. Oh, okay. So redacted told me they used to own a restaurant in Moscow, but it had been closed for several years. Her son, which is redacted, had gone to school in Bellingham, Washington, and then left to go to another school in Vermont. He returned to Moscow, and then he and his girlfriend had gone on vacation in Thailand before returning to Moscow. He has since moved to New York City and is working there. I asked her to call him and see if he would call me. She called me back and told me she had left a message to have him call me. She also told me that another owner of a restaurant in Moscow had to deal with similar online accusations against her son by people who watched the whoever this is YouTube video. The restaurant redacted owns is the redacted located in Moscow. Later that day, I received a telephone call from that person, the guy that he was waiting on. He told me he had attended college in Bellingham, Washington from fall of 2016 to spring 2021. He then moved to Vermont to work in the redacted until October of 2022. He moved back to Moscow and then moved to New York City after Thanksgiving of 2022. He now works manufacturing guitars in New York City or in New York. He told me he did not know any of the students who were murdered and he didn't remember ever seeing any of them or meeting any of them. Case continues, it says. I mean, who was it? I mean, who the heck? I have some tarot reading cards. I'm gonna pull up one of these. I'm gonna pull a fast one on one of you guys one of these nights. I'm just gonna have them sitting here. Be like, this is what we're doing. I would never do that. Maybe I would to myself though. I would to myself. So the narrative for this one, they were given several people to contact. This person was a friend of Kaylee's, so they telephoned this person on December 7th, and she answered the phone. She agreed to come to Moscow Police Department at 3:45. Okay. I gave her the adult victim background questionnaire to read and fill out. After she filled the AVBQ out, Detective Herman and I spoke with her going over the questionnaire. This interview was recorded with her knowledge and permission. Okay. So she told us that she thought Kaylee was redacted and was rarely in contact with them. Kaylee considered Maddie her closest family member. Kaylee's ex-boyfriend and Kaylee were still on good terms after their breakup. She knew that Kaylee had worked at a redacted in Coeur d'Alene and in a restaurant in CDA in the past. Sorry. As far as she knew, Kaylee fully supported herself and paid for all of the expenses while going to college. Her current job was an online business who is owned by a redacted and a redacted. She planned on moving to Austin, Texas, and she had a roommate lined up from the sorority who was going to be moving in with her. A copy of the AVBQ is attached to the supplemental report. Okay. Case continues, it says. Oh, we got to turn this around. We can't see that. Okay. Adult victim background questionnaire. Says that, okay, so the names don't have anything. This all redacted. Time period known. So August 2019 to present. Last date of contact was the date before the game. List identify Kaylee's family members, include previous romantic partners, parents, step-parents. That's a lot of names. Describe the quality, positive and negative, of Kaylee's relationships. It doesn't say, look, family, mom plus dad, and then it's redacted out. Considered Maddie her closest family member. Was she not close to her family? I don't know. But it says redacted, went back and forth, and we're on good terms. I don't know why that would be redacted out. I don't like that. That's sad. Okay, describe Kaylee's personality. Okay, so describe any arrest or court involvement. None. So Kaylee was stubborn, liked to argue, wanted to win every argument, headstrong, fearless. She wanted to experience everything. So her personal habits were very much into social media, always on her phone and following trends. Describe any recent positive or negative personality / emotional changes you observed in Kaylee. She was very excited. We were finishing our college careers and wanted to leave Moscow, wanted something new. Also recently single, so she wanted to go out more and try new things. List any significant events. Her and Jack ended there on good terms and her job was going well. Okay. So then describe any potential risky behaviors that Kaylee engaged in. Kaylee would sometimes communicate with redacted on social media. Describe her daily schedule. She would wake up, take Murphy out, get on her computer and work. When she was done working, we would take our dogs on play dates and she'd go home and have dinner with her roommates. Describe any recent changes in that schedule. Nothing different. During the week, she would go out almost every weekend with Maddie. Who was Kaylee closest to? Maddie, 6th grade, and his ex-boyfriend, freshman year of high school. Has this person, the person to whom Kaylee was closest, changed recently? Has been upset and grieving. Okay, so describe anyone whom Kaylee did not get along with or experience conflict. Can't think of anyone specifically, just her typical arguments with friends here and there. I don't know, redacted anyone who showed a romantic or personal interest in Kaylee. Can't think of names, but a member of a fraternity. Describe Kaylee's reputation among people she knew and or who knew her. Loud and fun, wanted everyone to have a good time, always up for an adventure. Describe how Kaylee interacted with strangers. Very friendly. Where was Kaylee employed at the time of her death, and how long had she been employed there? Online company. Just recently, she worked with another member of our house. Describe any online activities in which Kaylee engaged, which resulted in financial gain. None that I know about. We joked about it. List Kaylee's past employment: coffee shop, in Coeur d'Alene. Describe time Kaylee spent on other campuses or with individuals associated with universities besides the University of Idaho. Washington State, we'd go to the bars. Did Kaylee attend class at any other university besides University of Idaho? If so, which one? No. Describe Kaylee's cell phone use. On her phone a lot. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. And then it just says social media use right there. Use social media a lot. Outside of the home, school, and work. How and where did Kaylee spend most of her time? With her dog, Murphy. With whom did Kaylee spend the most of her time? Maddie. What was her primary mode of transportation? Her car. Please let us know about anything you feel may have contributed to Kaylee's death. Potential stalker, and she put a question mark. Tell us anything you'd like us to know about Kaylee. We spent a lot of time together with our dogs. Do you know who's responsible for Kaylee's death? No. List 5 things that could have led to Kaylee's death. She couldn't list one. Have you told law enforcement everything that you know about Kaylee? Yes, she said. Please provide with as much information as you have the details of Kaylee's days during the week prior to and up to the day before her or the day of her death. He says use additional paper if necessary. Oh, what the heck did I do? I think I moved it around. What page did I go on? Oh, there we go. And she only did like 3 things. I'm like, so worked from home. She hung out with her roommates and she went out the weekend of passing. Now we got to flip them all back around. Okay. So then I won't keep you too much longer. The next one is going to be in reference to their phone numbers being in Brian Kohberger's phone. I heard that he had like 16 contacts. That's crazy. I mean, I don't talk to anybody, right? So I can't say nothing. But I'm going to go to my contacts. Where are they at? Okay, let's just type it in. I think it'll tell you, won't it tell you like how many you have in there? I think you have to like go to the end. Okay, so I only have, this isn't a lot. I don't know. This might be a lot. 679. Okay. On January 11th, at 2023, at approximately 10:05 a.m., ISP and then Detective O'Hara, they interviewed someone in person at the Moscow Police Department. This person was found in Kohberger's cell phone. So he was invited to the pool party on January 9th, 2022. My collar's messed up. And he was extremely intoxicated while at the party. He was introduced to Kohberger by an acquaintance. They made small talk for about 30 minutes and exchanged phone numbers. Kohberger was wearing swim trunks and drinking something out of a red Solo cup that he believed was alcohol. I don't know. Kohberger said he didn't drink. Kohberger mentioned he was in school for criminology. And then the interview ended. Okay. On January 11th, they had another interview. He met Kohberger during the fall of 2022 semester in the parking lot of the apartments in Pullman, Washington, where they both resided. So this person lived in one block and he lived in another block. They talked for about 5 minutes, introducing themselves. Later, he and Kohberger talked for almost an hour while walking around the apartment complex and exchanged phone numbers. They spoke about politics, capitalism versus socialism, and redacted where he is from. Kohberger mentioned he was a vegetarian and only ate 1 meal a day. Huh. You're cool, Kohberger. You went by with only eating 1 meal a day. You don't need the extra cake on your plate. Kohberger talked about people partying and how it was a complete waste of time. Was it Kohberger, or was it that you weren't invited to the parties? Because you were invited to the pool party and you went there. So I don't know. Kohberger seemed a lot more serious to him compared to other Americans he had met and talked with. Kohberger spoke about him getting his PhD in criminal justice and being a teacher's aide. Kohberger told him that he had done some genetic DNA testing to learn more about his origin and believed he mentioned he was of German descent. Oh, did you know, Kohberger? When he learned Kohberger was the suspect of the homicides, he deleted his contact from his phone, but still had a short text thread that had occurred between them. The interview ended at approximately 11:27. So then they interviewed someone else in person. This person was invited to the pool party in July by one of her good friends. Kohberger approached her and started talking with her about taking a personality test for introverted and extroverted personalities. He talked about being a student at WSU in the criminology program. She found Kohberger's conversation about personalities to be a weird topic to discuss at a party and became bored of the conversation. They exchanged phone numbers so he could text her a link to take a survey. She never saw him again after the party. He did text her sometime later asking if she had taken the survey. She did not respond and shortly after changed her cell phone number and purchased a new phone. Please tell me it wasn't because of Kohberger. I mean, it would have to be, right? Because who changes their phone number? Unless they really, unless somebody's bothering them. I have people that call me every second of the day. Let us give you a loan for your business. No, ma'am. Don't want your money. But I literally get like 40 calls a day or something. It's bad. So maybe I should go down to 16 contacts. But man, I would never, I know my cell phone number, and it's like, you put your number in for like your Target stuff and all that stuff too. So I don't want to change it. I still use my childhood number at Kroger. Okay. That I grew up with, my mom's old number when I was a child. So don't judge me. So then on January 13th, they conducted another interview in Pullman, Washington. This is a summary of that interview. She worked at WSU. And her contract with WSU is for, and it's redacted. She teaches 2 classes in the fall semester and 2 classes in the spring semester. Her only contact with Brian Kohberger was at school designated events. She first met him at school orientation. Nothing stood out about Kohberger that she recalls. She met and interacted with Kohberger at a second event during October or November of 2022, a night out at the bar with graduate students. I'm going to start saying BK. BK asked her about her research interest and how it was practicing. Redacted. None of their areas of interest in law overlapped. As faculty, they discussed graduate students prior to going on break. BK was one of the main people of conversation, specifically his behavior around women. He was aggressive towards women and made them feel uncomfortable. The faculty discussed how they could intervene. Redacted. Another teacher came to her and complained about one of his TAs. No names were brought up, but it was regarding a TA making women uncomfortable. She recommended he document the issues in writing. BK was respectful during her conversations with him. On January 13th, 2023, ISP Detective Ryan O'Hare and I conducted an interview with someone else at the Moscow Police Department. This person is a business consultant in Pullman, Washington. It says right here, Ferris. Ferris attended a pool party. Well, they didn't redact his name, in Moscow in July of 2022. Ferris interacted with Kohberger. We know his name now. The summary is the summary of the interview. So, okay. So this person has worked at a consulting for approximately 1 year. She got a degree in redacted from the University of Idaho. She attended a pool party in July. So in July of 2022 with some friends, BK came up and introduced himself to her very intentionally. They shook hands and he had a very firm, dominant grip. He said he was new to town and went to school at WSU. It was a very bland conversation and she wasn't interested in talking to him. He was in her vicinity and kept trying to join in conversations with her. She thought it was odd. He gave an off vibe and she kept her eye on him. He seemed very used to being put off by women. He seemed okay with that. He made beelines to where he wanted to go. It seemed like he wanted to make friends, but felt uncomfortable. On January 17th, they went ahead and they conducted another interview in Pullman, Washington. And this is the following information they got. She saw Kohberger every day during the semester at the cafe, always near closing time and sometimes over the summer prior to school starting. He liked to talk specifically with her. She believes he told his name was, and it's redacted. He would ask her questions about her school program and psychology. He asked about her psychological assessments she was learning about, but she told him she wasn't interested in that area of study. Her friend, and it's redacted, was at the register once when BK came in and he asked for the other girl by name. She was certain she never told BK her name and she doesn't wear a name tag. She was unaware how he knew her name. It seemed to her BK knew what hours she worked and made remarks about her hours. BK would come in with a female. It's redacted. She doesn't know her name. She asked BK's female friend where she was from. The female told her to guess. She guessed, and it was redacted. And BK remarked to the female, "See, I told you she was smart." That statement seemed weird to her because she didn't think much of BK, but it seemed like he had been talking to a female about her. She's like, "I just serve your coffee." She was always uninterested in talking with BK, and she would try to walk away, but he would just keep talking. She told a coworker she was very uncomfortable around him, and he would let her know they would let her know when he would come in so she could avoid him. She lives in Pullman, Washington. There were a few times weird things happened around that time, but believes they are probably unrelated. She was at home alone one night changing in her room, and someone knocked on her window. She called her husband, and he came home from work. Another time after she started working at this place, she heard someone moving around on her porch at approximately 7 in the evening. Her husband came home again and saw a white car leaving the area. Both occurrences were in August or September. Okay. So the next one will be for a female that they interviewed. Oh, wait, I just passed the narratives in the blue. So from December 30th through January 23rd, 2023, Idaho State Police, they were communicating with, and it's redacted, and this is Attorney Thomas Billora for victimology investigation needs about the quadruple murder on November 13th, 2022 at King Road, Moscow. On December 30th, national news outlets released arrest information and an image of suspect Brian C. Kohberger. Also on December 30th, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Also on December 30th, Valora sent Latah County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson an email stating, "So glad an arrest was made." Redacted does not recognize the online photo of the person arrested, that's probably Dylan, and has never heard of him. LCPA Thompson forwarded the email to me and other investigators for investigation purposes. Okay. That's what I'm assuming. They probably, gave her a picture. It was like, "Do you recognize this guy?" Okay, so it says on December 1st, the Idaho State Police Detective Joe Lake met with the redacted of murder victim Ethan Chapin. I'm assuming that's probably maybe like brother or sister, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Redacted completed the victim background questionnaire and agreed to be interviewed. Redacted is the loving redacted, Ethan redacted and redacted. Okay, so that's probably Ethan, maybe Maisie Hunter. He feels Ethan Chapin was a leader, a well-liked young man, had a great relationship with Xana Kernodle, and was a person who enjoyed living life. Ethan Chapin was very close to his siblings, and redacted was his closest friend. Redacted has worked diligently his entire life to provide for his family so his children could fulfill their dreams, and he is proud of his children. Oh, that's the dad. He is not aware of anyone or any event that could have led to the murder of Ethan. I don't know why it's redacted there. And the three other victims, Kaylee Gonzalez, Mattis Mogan, and Xana Kernodle. Okay. So we'll read this one. So then this one here, I don't think it has a name on here. No, it doesn't. Okay. So on December 1st, 2022, Joe Lake met with, this is redacted, of murder victim Ethan Chapin. So maybe this is the mom and that was the dad. I don't know. But it says this person agreed to complete the victim background questionnaire and be interviewed. Redacted is redacted with E. Chapin. The three were very close. Okay, so maybe it was one of his siblings. They shared their private lives, relied on each other, and socialized together. Redacted knows Ethan Chapin and Xander Kernodle had a very good relationship, and Ethan Chapin and Kernodle regularly spent time with their close friends. And it's all redacted, and his girlfriend redacted. Ethan Chapin also had close friend named, and it's redacted. Both Ethan Chapin and Kernodle were well liked by others in the life of the party. They regularly had parties at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho, but it was generally the same 20, but up to 70 people who frequented the parties, and all were associated with the University of Idaho Greek life. This person recalled being awoken on November 13th, 2022, and being told the police were at 1122 King Road residence, where Ethan Chapin regularly stays with Kernodle. He walked from his apartment to 1122 King Road and spoke with, and it's redacted, and they told redacted Ethan's not going to make it and thought he was murdered. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He wasn't aware of anyone who could or would want to murder Ethan. While at the scene, he overheard someone telling others she saw the guy, Dylan saw the guy, and heard Xana during the murder. Redacted called redacted, and she arrived at 1122. So Hunter called Maisie. She was there 10 minutes later. This person had no information about why, how, or who murdered Ethan, Kernodle, Kaylee Gonzalez, or Madison Mogan. I don't know why they didn't put Xana's first name. Oh, that's weird. Okay. And then we'll stop on 450. We are almost done. We have 100 more pages, but we're almost there. You know? Oh, sorry there. I forgot to show your comment. If your comment wasn't shown, that's my fault. Sorry, guys. Ashley usually has the mouth. So, Ashley, if some of your comments didn't come through, sorry. I didn't know that I was the mod in here tonight. I wasn't a very good mod. Love y'all. Your daughter was watching true crime when you left the hospital. That's funny. The last time I was in the hospital, oh my gosh, it wasn't the last time. It's been a while. It's been a long time, actually. This was before I met Vincent. So this is a long time ago. It was like right after my accident. A friend took me to OSU hospital because I thought I broke my leg, and I did again. And we watched Sex Sent Me to the ER, and we were laughing so hard, and we were just watching that. And like the nurse came in, she like looked up and she's just like, okay. But we thought it was just funny. I know. I think he was babied. I think that he was babied, Wolf. I think he was babied by people. I mean, I think down to the high school. I want to know what he got in trouble for. And why, what? I mean, he was doing things to girls in high school, in the trade school that he went to, in the first college he was at. Like, now he goes to Washington State. It's almost like I don't know how he even graduated. I don't know how he made it. I don't know how he made it it had to have been COVID. Must have helped him, because they ended up taking classes online because I have autism too, right? And I have stage, it's like that. What is it? Autism 1? It's like, it's like a little touch of it, a little sprinkle. It's more than a sprinkle for me, but, and I don't know. I'm sure I'm awkward maybe around people, but I don't know. His awkwardness and the things that he's doing, it's more than just being socially awkward. Like, he's purposely putting himself in these positions to make other people feel uncomfortable. And that's what's weird to me. Like, he's wanting other people to feel uncomfortable, and he's doing things to make that happen, right? Yeah, you do doodle bug. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's her. And he's a boy. And he was the first, he's the last baby. She'll coddle him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But then again, I mean, my mom didn't necessarily coddle me, but she would have been my ride or die. I mean, I probably could have done something hellacious in front of her. And she'd been like, not my kid, not my angel. I think that what he's going to do is he is going to write a book about himself. And he's going to write about the crime, I believe. And he's going to talk about it, but it's going to be a completely different story than what we've ever heard in these documents. It'll be something I don't know. It'll probably have something to do with the tunnels under the house for God's sakes. You know what I mean? But I feel like he would. I know your mom was like that. Yeah. That's how my mama would have done. Actually, she would say, oh my God, that would, oh my God, she would probably say that, get in the closet or something. She would. She totally would. Because we used to hide our cats when we lived in an apartment when I was a kid. She would put my dad out in the shed. We had a shed, and she'd put my dad out there with the cats. And he would come in and have like cat scratches all over him because like the cats didn't like to be outside and they didn't like to be held. She was sneaky. Triple L said she had a Meemaw too. Oh, what was her name? No, now I can't think. What was the Maddie Mogan's grandmother's name? I want to say Griddle, but that's not right. She was like everyone's grandma now. Yeah, OJ wrote a book too. I think we read earlier that he does like that. He does like Ramslin, I guess. So I'm sure he'll reach out to her, or she might have already reached out to him. Was it Diddle? Yeah. What'd I say? Griddle? Diddle. I was close. Yeah, Diddle. Wonder if we could somehow maybe like Facebook. I wonder if Karen has a Facebook. I was going to try to see because there's a day. I don't know when it is exactly, but there's a grandparents' day. Wouldn't that be cute to if we sent her a card? Grandma Diddle. That would be cute. Peru just wants to cuddle. Just cuddle with him, BK. That's fine. I mean, he's, it'll be a nice love story. BK in Peru. Look at that. That sounds good. So, unreadable. So, Wolf, if he does write a book, any royalties that he gets, Idaho doesn't have the Son of Sam clause, but they have something similar to where all the money is zapped from him and it goes to the victims and to the courts, and he has to pay off all of that first. But I mean, he doesn't really owe that much, in my opinion. What was it, 5,000 to the victims' families per victim? I mean, it was ridiculous. 200 and some thousand, maybe hey, Angel, maybe per victim, 200,000. But I mean, it's still if you think about a book or something, or if he can get Peacock to go in there and do a documentary, if they'll allow it, I doubt that jail will allow it because they're really maximum security, but you never know. 251 something. Yeah. I remember I added it up one night. I just couldn't remember. Oh, maybe Shuri. I wonder if he could do that though. I don't know how that works. You're having another girl? Congratulations, Felicia. You're gonna have three babies under 4? Oh, girl. Praise ya. I got 2 dogs in 3 months and I thought that was rough. I think you have 2 little ones. At least 2 little ones, right? Oh. Printed on toilet paper. I like that. I like that idea. Maybe I will. It's legal? Man. True crime lullabies. I'd probably read it. I would read it. I'd read it. I wouldn't want to buy it, but I'd probably have to buy it. If he comes out with a book, everybody that's in here right now, nobody go buy the book. Nobody buy it. I'll buy it and I'll read it to everybody. How about that? Or I don't want him getting my money. That's like giving the devil your money. Maybe we all need to chip in and then burn some sage or something afterwards. Happy Mom said my babies are grown. Your babies are never grown. They'll always be your babies. And the older they get, the more appreciative they will be. I feel like I'm more appreciative now of my parents than I were when they were alive even. And not just because they died, just because I got older and I realized what all they did for me, growing up. Yeah, that's who we're talking about. Maddie's grandma. Yeah, Deedle. Deedle, not Diddle. Deedle. You're right, Deedle. I don't know. I would like to see what story he would spin. It would probably involve, his best buddy, his best friend, William, of course, because it's his best friend. And yeah, I mean, maybe, Brian Kohberger will reach out to one of these YouTubers and be like, hey, just kidding. He won't do that. Keep dreaming. I don't know why these people even covered him like that long, and rode so hard for him. Because, I guess they did get a little bit of channel growth on that, didn't they? I don't think he had any past girlfriends. That's cute, Felicia. I've been looking at baby clothes lately because my great nephew is going to be here, and now I'm like looking at the stuff, and I'm like, stop looking at it. Just stop. Because I'm like, it's so small and cute and little. But there was like this little jersey looking. It wasn't like a jersey. It was like a Letterman jacket kind of deal. But it was for like a baby. So it was like a one piece. And it looked like the high school that my niece went to. Like it's the lettering and stuff. So I thought about getting it. I know. I would hate for anyone to buy it. I would like for him to get all smoked out and be done with him. What was I going to say about him though? Oh, he did say that once the news organizations and stuff and everybody stops talking about him, that everything will be better then for him. It'll never be good for you, Brian. I mean, if I have to do a live a month after all this is over on you, just to remind everybody. Speaking of reminding you guys, I am going to do a live this week over multiple cases, because there has to be updates in some of these cases that we were covering. We just haven't heard about them. Or I don't know. Because there's 2 or 3 cases I could think of in my head right now that we cover that they're going to court, or they're supposed to be in court for it, but I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to be looking those up. Oh, hey, Sirius. You're great. Oh, I had a great niece. I have a great niece. And now I'm going to have a great nephew. Oh, that's so nice. Nancy Grace had her babies at 48. She was pregnant. So I'm like, if Nancy can do it, sign me up. With twins at 40. What? Nancy? He must be behaving. My niece is having a boy. I think his name's Chimere. Or I don't know. That's the name that was on the gift, and she loved it. I was like, just someone, Your neighbor had twins at 52. Okay, see, that makes me feel a little better too. I'll be 40 this year. I don't know. I always said that I wanted to adopt when I was little. When I was 16, this is 16-year-old Tanya. So this is me years and years and years ago. So this isn't me now. But I told my mom, I remember I was in the kitchen when I said it, but I said, "Mom, I think I'm going to adopt a baby when I get older. I want to adopt." And I said, "I think I want to adopt an Asian baby." We had one Asian family in our whole town. So I didn't grow up around Asian people. So I don't know what made me want to adopt an Asian baby, of course, because I mean, I wasn't around anybody that was Asian until now I'm dating one. I'm like, oh, look at that. Would you looky there? It all worked out. My forever partner, is half Japanese. So I'll have a Asian baby. I know, right? I got Vincent. I know. I'm like, this is so, I told him like about that story not too long ago. I was like, that's the weirdest thing to me because I remember I always had that in my mind. I never have ever, I don't know. I've never pictured myself even being pregnant, which is, you never know though. You never know. I don't know if I'd be a nice pregnant girl. Would I be in a good mood? I might. I don't know. Probably not. I'm like, probably not. But no, you know what they do? And I don't know if it's Japanese culture too. I think it is. But after you have your first baby, I don't know if it's every baby, but I know it's your first, the mother and father will come and stay with you and they take care of the baby for you and like you get healthy again. I'm like, oh. And they like feed you and they like make all the food. They do everything. And I was like, that's crazy to put that on them, but okay. Psychic Tanya, I know. I used to think the one family that we did have in, our town, like my town was so not, we had no other races in my town when we grew up. Like I grew up in a county school. It was awful. It was awful. I moved from a city school to a county school when I was in 4th grade. And I was like, where did you send me? Like, where am I? Because I was wearing dresses and they're all wearing those little suspender things, right? And I'm like, am I like overly dressed? Yeah, it's an Asian ritual. I thought so. Oh, so you already have a name? Inez? Is that how you say Inez? I think that's pretty. I like I like the name Eleanor, even though my mom. Okay, so my funny story. My mother changed her name. Well, my grandmother changed my mom's name when she was a baby, and nobody knew this. I still don't even think my brother. I don't even think I even told my brother this story yet. My dad didn't know this. Nobody knew this about my mother. So I'm rummaging through stuff for the fire. And I found this baby bracelet, those little beaded ones, and they would have like your initials on them and like the white, like little ball, like, it just, I don't know. They're back from like the 50s, 60s. So she was born in the 50s. And I'm like, EGT, like, whose name is this? Like, who has these initials? And she was like, I think I need to tell you something. And I'm like, what? Let me know. I'm all ears because she told me everything. And she's like, my name hasn't always been Cindy. And I'm like, what? So my grandmother's sister loved the name, which would have been my aunt, loved the name Eleanor Jean for a little girl for my grandmother. My grandmother couldn't tell her sister no. So she named my mom Eleanor Jean, although she loved the name Cindy, right? So then, like 3 months after my mom was born, her sister died. So my grandma went and changed her name to Cindy. I'm like, she should have just told her sister to begin with she was not going to name her Eleanor. Like, but my mom said she hated the name Eleanor Jean. She's like, I hate that name. And I love it. I just think it's the sweetest little cutest name now. If I ever had a little girl, Eleanor Jean, I don't know. Ellie. I just think it's cute. I'd probably do that. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, that's what this one was. It was the hospital one. And I'm like, how do you still have this thing? And it's not like, in a million pieces. I'll have to find that. I bet I still have it. I have to have it. That's something I wouldn't get rid of. You know what I mean? There's just some stuff I will never get rid of. Dusky, that's cute. Oh, I never cried either as a baby. My grandma thought something was wrong with me. My mom said when I came home from the hospital, I just went to bed. She's like, you only cried when you were hungry. I guess like the first day following the hospital, you know, my mom and dad both woke up in like a panic because they were like, oh my God, we have a kid and she didn't wake us up in the middle of the night. Like, and they ran in there and I was sleeping. Thanks, is she? I think I'd be a pretty good mama. I think I would. I treat these dogs good enough, you know. She's looking at me now, but a second ago she had her head like rested. Oh, she's biting herself now. The other one's sleeping. Yeah. You done for the night, Mia? She looks like she's about to fall out of that chair. Yeah, the name changed. The old switcheroo. I bet you went as soon as my grandmother went to heaven or, you know, wherever she went and she met her sister, right? And her sister probably said, you son of a bitch. I bet you. I bet you that's exactly what they said. Because that's what my family would say. Like, I can't believe you changed your name. You have an older brother. Yeah. He's in here sometimes. Yeah, Anthony. I forget what his name is on Facebook or YouTube. Antonio Anthony or something. It's cute when he comes in. He's only been in here a couple times, but each time it just makes my heart feel happy, you know? Because he says he listens to me when he's going to bed. I'm like, oh, your wife probably loves that. My voice. Just kidding. But yeah. Oh. Is she telling me I'm having surgery? And I'm like, sign me up. When do we do it? Vincent got 4 vials of blood taken today, and you would have thought they took his arm off. I love that for him almost. I don't. I hate that he had to give blood because he hates it. But oh, see, that's one thing I'm so scared of, dementia. Like, that's scary. I'm sorry to hear that. I told Vincent if I ever lose my mind, I was like, you better start telling me a story every day. And he would. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to jump off of here. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll be on during the day. I might actually, because it's going to be really crappy here tomorrow, like weather-wise. So, you know, if I'm going to be stuck in the house, why not be stuck together? Let's see. Let's check the weather together. It's only 67 tonight. And I don't want to like freak anybody out, but have y'all noticed that the sun's going down even earlier now? Like, let me look. It'll tell me. Sunset. It doesn't tell me. Oh, wait, 8:23. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh, she probably did. Misbehaving. She definitely did. She definitely did. She probably confronted my grandma who confronted my mom and was like, it was probably just a trickle effect. And now they're probably waiting on me to get up there to be like, you told everybody on YouTube. And I would say, and I'll do it again. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful Thursday tomorrow. It's almost Friday. Just think about that. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to live this out. We got this far, don't know how.